Hi everyone. So in this video, we are going to talk about Singleton classes in C#. So let's. All right. So by Singleton class, what I mean is, so there's like, for example, we have seen how do we create classes in C#, right? And then we can create n number of objects for that particular class. So for Singleton classes, so the pattern says that there can only be one instance of that class in memory, right? So we have to restrict the number of instances and we have to restrict that instance count to just one. All right. So I'll just go ahead and delete everything from here. So now, so let's start creating that class. So I'll say, I'll just call it as Singleton for now, right? So because we are restricting number of instances that can be created for this class. So first thing we have to do is create a private constructor, right? Because if we have a public constructor, it would end up that anybody can call that constructor and create an object of that class. Yeah. So we'll restrict creation by having a private constructor. And for now, we'll not do anything as such in this constructor. So now if we try to create an object of this class. Yeah, so if you see here is inaccessible due to its protection level, right? So nobody can create an object of this class. But now this means that even if the one instance that we want to create, even that we cannot create. Yeah. So this is fine. So let's remove this. Now there's only one instance that we want to create. So what we would do is we'll actually create a property in this particular class, right? So I'll say, and we'll create a static property. So I'll say internal static. And this has to be read only. Return type should be class Singleton, and then we'll just call this as Singleton. Let's just call it as instance. New. I've just created a variable. I'm calling it as instance and the type is Singleton. It's read only so that it can only be instantiated once, right, during the execution of this thing. So now we have to wrap this around a property. So what I'll do is I'll create a public static property. This would also return Singleton, and we'll call it as instance. And there's only a getter that we want here, so there's no get set. And what I want to do here is I'll just return instance. Okay. So this looks okay. So now what I can do is, because this is a static property, what I can do here is I'll say var instance equals to Singleton dot instance. Okay, so this is how I'll get a copy of that class, of that the only instance that we want to create, right? So now if I call it again, right, so similarly, I mean it is just going to return this instance altogether, so there's no way to create another instance. So I mean, although this is I know one of the ways that you can create a Singleton class, yeah, but I think a foolproof solution, if you want to make sure that, for example, if you have multiple threads accessing this particular class and you want to be completely sure that, I mean, even in like a scenario where multiple threads are trying to create an instance of this object, in that scenario also you want to safeguard that only one instance should be created. So what we can do is we can make some change in this method. So I'll create a private class inside this class, right? So let's class, we'll call this as nested nested singleton. Okay. And we'll just have a static constructor here. So we'll call it as statics nested. Don't have to do anything. So if we have a static constructor, basically it makes basically it's telling the C# compiler uh, that okay, I know this is only like once this basically constructor is called, right, whenever this is stored in the loaded in the memory. Okay, and this variable that we have, that internal static read only this thing, so this actually would move inside this particular class. And then instead of returning instance directly, what I'll say is I'll say nested singleton dot instance. So no code change is required here. And yeah, so let's run this application and see if you are able to create an instance. So I have an instance here. It has only one static method. So this is how you create only one instance of a class, right? So this is how we can implement singleton pattern in C#. All right. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.